Good morning, everybody. Today, I'd like to talk about narrative tax. Now, let's start. What is narrative? Narrative is just a kind of text that contains a story. So it tells you a story, and there are many kinds of narrative text. For example, fable. It is a story about animals. Besides fables, we have legend, fairy tales, folk tales, myths, etc. Now, what is the purpose of narrative text? So, the narrative text actually is used for amusing or for entertaining the readers, the audience, and also the listeners. So, according to the mood, what kind of text that you enjoy. If it is a printed text, it is the readers that being entertained, and if it is an audio visual text, so it means that the audience is being entertained. And if it is only audio, for example, it is from a recording cassettes or kind of radio, so it is the listeners who is being entertained. Okay, the next one is the generic structure of the narrative text. What are the generic structures of the narrative text? All right. Narrative text contains three parts of the generic structure. It starts with the it is called the orientation. Now, what is orientation? Orientation is the introduction of the narrative text, and then the complication, and the last one is the resolution. Okay, we back to the orientation. What can we find in orientation? In orientation, we can understand the time settings, the place where the story take place or happened, and also the characters that involved in the story. And then the complication. Through the complication, we will know the problems that arise in the story, how the conflict is developed. Now we can understand from the complication. And then in the last part of the narrative text is the resolution. From the resolution, we will know the story, how the story is ending, and how the problem is solved in the resolution. By the end of the story, we usually will know the moral value that can be taken from the story. It is very important for our students what kind of lesson that they can learn by enjoying or reading or watching or listening to the story. So that's about the narrative text from the generic structure. And then the language feature of the narrative text. Usually the narrative text use simple past tense, and also they use the time connectors to connect each idea in the story from the beginning, from the orientation, and then going to the complication, and then to the resolution. That's the simple thing that I want to tell to my students about the narrative text. I hope that by knowing the basic knowledge of the narrative text, you will know what kind of text is narrative text. I think that's all for now. Thank you very much for your attention and for watching this YouTube video, and then I hope that you will enjoy your study especially in studying the narrative text. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.